Welcome to the Johnny Fongo Show. I am Johnny Fongo. It is April 8th, 2021. Welcome to the show. A little bit about my show real quick. This show is about sharing my research in the cannabis sector, particularly publicly traded companies. We're going to look at everything cannabis, THC, CBD, hemp, and everything in between. Some stories featured, we'll look at companies that are not publicly traded yet. Now, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a regular guy. Big fan of the plant, big fan of investing, big fan of trading, and a big fan of research. Okay? I hope you enjoy the information I share here. Any stock or company I talk about is not a recommendation to buy it. It is more a recommendation to learn more about the company if it fits into your strategy. With that being said, let's get after it because we've got a lot of news to look at today. We're going to hit some headlines first off, give you an idea of what's going on and who's doing it, and then we're going to dig a little bit deeper into a few stories. So here we go. 7:11 a.m. News file. Canadian Students for Sensible Drug Policy tackles harm reduction with next phase of Get Sensible Youth Cannabis Education Campaign. Next up, Cancer, Anorexia Market Insights Report 2021. Major players are NGM Biopharmaceuticals, Artello Biosciences, and Helsinn Healthcare. 7:04 a.m. Globe Newswire. MediPharm Labs completes its first high-THC cannabis oil export to Peru, 7:01 a.m., Globe Newswire. Red, White, and Bloom receives Florida Department of Health Office of Medical Marijuana Use Approval, 7 o'clock a.m., Globe Newswire. Flower One issues common shares to its term lender per the Term Loan Modification Agreement, 7 o'clock, Business Wire. Verano Holdings announces full year 2020 results, 7 a.m., Globe Newswire. Green Thumb Industries to hold first quarter 2021 earnings conference call on May 12, 2021, 7 a.m., Globe Newswire. Tilt Holdings to report fourth quarter and fiscal year-end 2020 results on Thursday, April 15th, 2021. High Tide extends maturity date and reduces interest rate of convertible debt with strategic partner, 6 a.m., PR Newswire. Dinaleo Incorporated completes 9.7 oversubscribed equity financing, 6 a.m., Globe Newswire. Camises International announces LOI with vending, sales, and distribution leader Elite Vend, 4 a.m., Access Wire. Pure Extracts to enter U.S. market through JV in Michigan, 12:05 a.m., Globe Newswire. A few stories from yesterday evening. Let's take a look at those real quick. Heritage Cannabis set to initiate U.S. product launch through relationship with Meridia Capital Holdings. That came out yesterday at 5:25 p.m. on the Business News Wire. The Valens Company expands cannabis distribution network with entry into Manitoba market, 5:15 p.m., PR Newswire. Midasine unveils 4 psychedelic drug candidates, 4:47 p.m. from Benzinga. Curaleaf says partner for international is mainstream investor. Market Talk, 4:31 p.m., Dow Jones. Michigan-based credit union receives a cease and desist order over cannabis banking. Shango is opening a Detroit area cannabis provisioning center just in time for 420. 4:14 p.m. Benzinga. Green Bros launches industry first cannabis rise and sort post-harvest processing system, 1:03 p.m., PR Newswire. Michigan Cannabis Company, Flourish, launches cannabis line benefiting expungement activities, 12:32 p.m., Benzinga. That's great to hear. I'm familiar with the Flourish brand. I've seen that before. Cannabis brands Cookies Intercure signed deal to expand Burner's brand in Europe and Israel. All right, so that brings us back to yesterday about noontime. Get you caught up with most of the headlines. We're going to jump into this first story about MediPharm Labs completes its first high-THC cannabis oil export to Peru. This came out at 7:01 a.m. today. Globe Newswire. MediPharm Labs Corp. On the TSX, you can find that as LABS. On the OTCQX, you can find it as MEDIF. On the FSE, you can find it as MLZ. Now, they are a global leader in specialized research-driven pharmaceutical quality cannabis extraction, distillation, and derivative products. Today announced its wholly owned subsidiary, MediPharm Labs Incorporated, completed its first shipment of premium formulated cannabis oil to its customer Can Farm Peru SAC, a Lima-based producer and distributor serving Peruvian and other markets in Latin America. This is very interesting. The first import into Peru demonstrates the versatility of our GMP-certified platform that qualifies MediPharm Labs to export high THC and CBD-formulated oils into international medical markets where cannabis is regulated like other pharmaceutical products. That's a great idea. We should try that. That's awesome. And that was Keith Stachin, President and Interim Chief Executive Officer of MediPharm Labs. We look forward to expanding our presence in Peru and other Latin American markets like Brazil, where we have agreements in place and are awaiting final permits to import our pharmaceutical quality products to patients and physicians looking for products they can trust. Now, it goes on to say here, MediPharm Labs pre-formulated cannabis concentrate will be distributed to patients throughout compounding pharmacies in Peru that will complete final formulations and fill to the exact prescription specification. Since Peru's initial cannabis legislation, patients have predominantly had access to CBD in the absence of a steady supply of legal THC. This initial shipment will provide Peru's growing patient base with access to formulated THC medicines that have a high degree of quality and control. Bringing high-quality THC into the country will also open many doors in the healthcare sector, says Andre Vasquez, president of Can Farm. Providing a consistent supply of high-quality THC will allow physicians to prescribe cannabis oils to address a wider range of therapeutic needs versus mainly CBD-dominant oils, including pain management. All right. Glad to see they're getting into the Latin American market. If you've been a listener to this program, you know I did a interview with a gentleman in Brazil about the state of cannabis in Brazil. And it wasn't a rosy outlook. Let's hope that, we can get some minds changed down there. I know he's working very hard at it. You can get a hold of MediPharm Labs. Their website is www.medipharmlabs.com, medipharmlabs.com. Email is investors@medipharmlabs.com. All right, next up, Red, White, and Bloom receives Florida Department of Health Office of Medical Marijuana Use approval. This comes out at 7 a.m., Globe Newswire. Red, White, and Bloom brands, we have talked about them before here on the podcast. On the Canadian Stock Exchange, you can find them at RWB. On the OTC, it is RWBYF. They are pleased to announce that the Florida Department of Health Office of Medical Marijuana Use has approved the previously announced transaction to acquire Acreage, Florida. Recent reports state Florida has one of the most robust medical marijuana markets in the U.S. with cannabis revenue of over $1.2 billion in 2020. Florida is a limited license state with 22 licensed operators. Having cleared this milestone, the company is continuing to work towards closing, which remains subject to a number of closing conditions that are customary with a transaction of this nature, including regulatory approvals and approval of the CSE. All right, so Red, White, and Bloom, they are trying to get some things done out there. If you'd like to know more about them, their website is www.redwhitebloom.com. You can email them at ir@redwhitebloom.com. redwhitebloom.com. They also have Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram platforms up and running, it looks like. So check them out, see what you think. Looks like they're trying real hard to do some good stuff. Next up, Cannabis International Incorporated announces LOI with vending sales and distribution leader Elite Vend. That came out this morning at 4 a.m. Access Newswire. Says here, Elite Vend is a highly recognized vending operator that serves over 37,000 vending locations nationwide. Okay, that's a lot. Cannabis International Incorporated. On the CSE, you can find them at CSI. On the OTC Pinks, you can find them at CADMF. On the FRA, you can find them at CWAB. They're pleased to announce a letter of intent with Elite Vend, a fully integrated and nationally recognized vending machine retailer and distributor. Elite Vend will leverage its portfolio of existing and expanding customer base to enhance Cannabis Vicky platform expansion. In addition, the Elite Vend will provide Cannabis access to its full suite of services, which include fulfillment, distribution, and servicing. Through its hands-on approach, Elite Vend has built an extensive network of strong relationships with golf pro shops, sports-related shops, and facilities. Elite Vend will work with Cannabis to deploy its sales and distribution resources to identify strategic placements of kiosks across the United States to ensure successful uptake of the machine. Josh Rosenberg, president of Cannabis, commented, "The team is extremely pleased with the continued support and traction of the company is getting from vending market veterans. We believe strongly that our business plan will attract many partners who will see our vision for the future of vending. We look forward to working with Elite Vend and their team in securing new placements for our Vicky kiosks across the United States." Elite Vend was established in 2010 and has since grown its presence and now operates in Washington, California, Arizona, and Florida. The team operates numerous large warehouses in each state to ensure fast and efficient service to its customers. Elite Vend provides full-service vending solutions, including coffee services, water and ice, beverage machines, snacks, and fit-pick menus for its customers. Elite Vend specializes in working with local businesses by building long-term relationships in its operational market. Ryan Ware, CEO of Elite Vend, remarked, "The turnkey program provided by Cannabis fits well with our go-to market approach, and CBD fits our consumers' value proposition. It will be a seamless expansion for Elite Vend to add to our portfolio. The product and brand diversity will allow for increased share of customer wallet as well as penetrating new locations." Okay, well, that seems like Cannabis has got some nice technology that they are working on. It says more here about Cannabis is a U.S.-focused multi-state cannabis company that is focused on providing an artificially intelligent-based retail solution. The company currently holds exclusive rights to an AI-based kiosk which can be deployed in high-traffic areas such as shopping malls, stadiums, transit hubs, workplaces, and large corporate headquarters. Cannabis holds exclusive rights of the Vicky Intelligent Self-Checkout Retail Solution for sale of cannabis products across North America. Powered by artificial intelligence and other advanced technologies, Vicky is a modern replacement for traditional vending experiences and the first retail solutions. You can contact Investor Relations at ir@cannabis.com, CHEMESIS.com, the number 1. Okay, interesting story there. Reminds me of a company back in the day. I mean, I'm talking like 2012 that I started tracking called Medbox. Anybody remember that one? MDBX. If you were in this sector way back in 2012, you would remember them because they just went nuts. I started tracking them there around a couple $3. And through some kind of pump and dump, they got jacked up to $200 and some within the course of, maybe a week or two. And then, of course, plummeted back down to earth. But they had a vending machine for cannabis kind of either going, they were out there selling them, or they were in development. But yeah, Medbox, I remember them. I don't think I really ever had them. They changed names back in 14 or 15 to Nor something. I'll have to dig into that and see. But Medbox was, they were kind of the originators in the vending machine thing. Now, this seems like it's pretty interesting technology, so we'll have to keep up with that. All right, next up. Pure Extracts to enter U.S. market through joint venture in Michigan. This comes out today at 12:05 a.m. Globe Newswire. Pure Extracts Technologies Corporation. On the CSE, you can find them at PULL, PULL. On the OTC, they are PRXTF. On the XFRA, they are A2QJAJ. They are pleased to announce that the signing of a letter of intent, LOI, with the affiliate of a publicly traded multi-state operator to form a joint venture to install a cannabis and hemp extraction system in an existing Michigan facility. The MSO has a long history of success in Oregon, offering a family of products including sun-grown and indoor premium flower, along with its patented nitro-sealed indoor and sun-grown pre-rolls and jars. These products are also grown and packaged in Michigan for retail sale in over 100-plus dispensaries throughout the state. Pure Extracts is a plant-based extraction company focused on cannabis, hemp, functional mushrooms, and the rapidly emerging psychedelic sector from the state-of-the-art processing facility located just north of Whistler, British Columbia. In Michigan, the companies plan to join forces by combining the MSO affiliates' local permitting, licensing, and marketing expertise with Pure Extracts extraction, vape, live resin, edibles manufacturing skills. The venture partners plan to build out 2,600 square feet of existing, underutilized space in the MSO's current facility, which is strategically located in central Michigan within a 2-hour drive of several major markets. Pure Extracts expects to contribute a mix of equipment and cash to the venture, which will allow the partners to rapidly scale up to meet the rising demand for recreational cannabis in concentrate and edibles throughout the state. Michigan is anticipated to follow similar consumer trend patterns experienced in other states such as California and Colorado, where sales of extracts and concentrates eventually overtake sales of dry flower. Bruce Linton, co-founder and former CEO of cannabis giant Cannabis Growth and executive chairman of Michigan-based and newly public Gage Growth Corporation, recently commented in Forbes that Michigan is one of the fastest-growing cannabis markets in the U.S., according to the Michigan Marijuana Regulatory Agency, MRA. During February 2021, Michigan cannabis sales increased 160% from a year ago to 106.2 million, with medical sales improving 48% to a U.S. 38.1 million, and adult use sales soaring 353% to a U.S. 68.1 million. In addition to manufacturing Pure Extracts proprietary brands of vapes and edibles, JV partners anticipate an initial white label order for live resin concentrates from the MSO affiliate as the company continues to build on the outstanding reputation of its dry flower products have already garnered with the Michigan marketplace. All right, that's great. Great to hear. Okay, last story for today. We're going to look at Mitosine unveils 4 psychedelic drug candidates. Comes out at 4:47 yesterday and comes from Benzinga. Mitosine Innovations Group, OTC MYCOF, a Denver-based psychedelics research company, announced its 4 lead novel drug candidates on Wednesday. The company plans to present the candidates at a pre-investigational new drug meetings with the FDA and Health Canada. a necessary step in attaining approval for drug development and clinical trials. We are essentially taking the value that is currently present in natural molecules, such as psilocybin molecule MYCO-001, and adding patentable safety features, said Rob Roscoe, Chief Science Officer and co-founder of Midasine. The candidates include MYCO-001, a form of pure psilocybin derived from natural fungal sources, targeted to be used at the mid to late stage clinical trials. MYCO-002, an empathogen with similar effects to MDMA that could have an improved safety profile. MYCO-003, a psilocybin-based formula that could diminish the possibility of bad experiences by reducing patient anxiety. MYCO-004, a hallucinogen delivered transdermally, offering precision dosing and long-term compound safety or stability. The claims presented for these compounds need to be proven in clinical trials via further research. By increasing the complexity of these compounds, we are increasing layers of patents applied, which in turn add pharmaceutical value to the drug candidate, said Joshua Barch, co-founder and CEO of Midasine. Okay, very interesting story. We hear a lot here lately of microdosing, of psilocybin research, psilocybin medicine, mushrooms, that type of thing. And there does not seem to be any slowing down of that kind of talk or kind of research. So this is actually the last story for today. I was mistaken. My bad. I want to just take a second to say a big thank you to all our listeners around. We're expanding our reach across the globe. That's an awesome thing. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you listening, enjoying the content here. As always, this is just my research and my personal opinion. I am not a financial advisor, but I do enjoy researching stocks and learning more about them. And I'm glad to share what I know, what I've learned with my listeners. With that being said, we do have a social media platform out there on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Please feel free to reach out to us and let us know how we're doing. If you like the podcast, by all means, follow us, like it, subscribe, whatever you need to do. Keep up with our daily sharing of research. We try to do this on a very regular basis because there is so much news to talk about and share. So, next story is Curaleaf says partner for international is mainstream investor. This comes to us yesterday, 4:31 p.m. from the Dow Jones Newswire. Curaleaf Holdings Executive Chairman Boris Johnson says he can't name the investor that provided $130 million in funds for a 31.5% stake in the company's Europe-focused international unit, but describes the investor as an established player with over $100 billion in assets under management. There's someone that invests around the world in mainstream businesses, he tells Wall Street Journal, and wanted exposure to the cannabis market in Europe. Jordan says the European market for cannabis is similar to where the U.S. market was in 2017 and has strong growth prospects. All right, so a little mystery around Curaleaf and who's chunking in some change for him. Very good. Okay, so that's going to wrap up today's show. Let's run back and see if we've got any new headlines to talk about, and it does look like we have something here to look at. Looks like Constellation Brands Q4 profit falls but beats analyst estimates. And if you know anything about the cannabis business, Constellation Brand has a pretty good chunk of, I believe it's Tilray, or it could be Canopy Growth. It's one of those big guys they have a big chunk of. Let's see, that just came out 7:49 a.m. Market Watch. Can commences trading on the CSE, 7:32 a.m. news file. THC Therapeutics engage milestone management services for investor relations, 7:31 a.m. And that looks like that's going to wrap up everything as of now. Okay, we're finishing this up. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. Want to thank everybody again for listening. This is Johnny Fongo. You've been listening to the Johnny Fongo Show. I want you to have a profitable day.